Y'all, as I'm reading Psalms 84, verse 10, um, this is what I'm reading. So basically, you can still prosper without God, right? You can do things without God, right? It's still like, that stuff's gonna fall apart, right? You know, don't get excited, bro. Don't get excited, bro, because if you were just thinking like, okay, if I can do things without God, how? How? You can't. You can't. You can't, because that's not a strong foundation. Think of the wise and the foolish builder. The wise builder built his house upon the true rock, but the foolish builder built his house upon the sand, right? Because the wicked, think about the wicked, right? The wicked don't build their house upon something that's strong. They build their house upon something that actually just fades away, right? Think about Judas, right? Judas said that money and that stuff that was going to get him somewhere. He didn't think about that cross. He didn't know the deeper outcomes of the cross. He relied on his own understanding, right? But when we lean on God, even when we can't see the full picture, right? You know, just being in God's presence is much better than doing things without Him, right? You know, so in this verse, Psalms 84, verse 10, better is one day in your courts than 1,000 elsewhere. I would rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than dwell in the tents of the wicked. To do things without God, right? To do things the wrong type of way, to do things out of a heart that's actually loving sin other than the things of God, right? To do things actually wickedly and to do things actually, things not pertaining to God. That's what the devil wants. The devil tries to give you that type of stuff, and that stuff is not going to hold, bro. That stuff is going to fall apart. And then you're going to be like, man, why did I listen to this fool? That's what the devil does. He tries to make you look like an idiot, bro. But don't fall for that trap, because God doesn't want you to get into that trap in the first place. Let wisdom guide you. Let wisdom just abide in the presence of God, doing things His way instead of trusting in your own way, because being in the presence of God is much better than doing things the enemy's way. The enemy wants to give you it right away, but God says, wait on it. Wait in His presence, wait in His presence. And when I mean wait in His presence, I mean, you're going to get overlooked for waiting in God's presence. But who cares, bro? It's worth it, because God's time is always worth it. So don't just give up that hope in Christ. Stand firm for His name, because it's worth it. In the end, we win with Christ.